Well then, this is a bit awkward doing this again.
Can I say that I'm not surprised that you said that?
Considering that the channel was basically turned into a Western ghost town, I'd say sure, go right ahead.
Joe, who's standing at the top of the world, giving orders to the American people this time?
Last time I checked, it was me and my vice president.
Who did diddly jack squat, and she tried to run for the office. But once again, the American people love me that much to have me run a second term.
Right now, I think we have more pressing issues to address, like the roadmap that we made out for the year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We kind of just jammed it together and hoped for the best.
Let's get to the presentation, shall we?
First things first, why are most of these games either action or indie games? I thought horror games were our forte.
Have you forgotten that there's a channel that does that already? I mean, he's made a comeback to YouTube, so why don't we do the same thing?
That's what we're doing now, except a lot more casually, and the edits aren't as good as his.
I don't think that should matter too much, to be honest. As long as we're having fun making videos again, I would love to keep doing this again.
I think we need to address the elephant in the room first. What the hell is my side? It looks like some weeboo's wet dream for their underwear.
Insults on Weibo's aside, that is a psychological horror game. It's sort of similar to Doki Doki Literature Club, but a lot more aware. That's all I know from reading the description on Steam.
And January's nearly over, so I think we should get on that sooner rather than later.
You talked a bit too fast for me to understand you, Barack, but whatever. I'm not surprised for February, since Joe picked it out this time. Why not have us play the first one instead? It'd make sense lore-wise to play the first one.
The second Dead Space is superior in my eyes in every way. I consider it a perfect sequel. Plus, there's a recap of the first one in the main menu, so we don't have to worry about that at all.
Speaking of superior, Joe, you've cooked this time with March. Adding Spec Ops: The Line was a great decision. Its narrative twists, immoral actions, and extremely talented voice acting makes it an underrated gem in my eyes.
Looks like your generic military game.
I assure you it's more than just a generic military game, Donald. But you'll have to wait and see when March comes around.
Yeah, because I guarantee that the game in April is nothing more than a big fucking joke. Jesus, man, if you were depressed, you could have just told me.
When did you assume I was depressed? Cry of Fear is about depression, sure, but I think it's a more serious topic that needs to be addressed in the aspect of life.
Oh, come on, it's not like the ban on TikTok made these kids all depressed, instead crying and screaming about how their quote, unquote business was gone because of it. Now's your turn to get a real 9-to-5, kiddos.
You sound like you made the term pulling up by your bootstraps a thing for boomers to practically beat into the ground, or you're just an insensitive prick who went along with the agenda to filling your own pockets.
That's literally what happened in the game for May, but to avoid spoilers. Let's just say they become sentient over time.
Why don't I just start us off with Helltaker instead? It sounds like it's something simple and you get to stare at huge demon bonkers.
Back to Pervert Dawn once more. I'm sure Asura's wrath would make you goon at the sight of seeing Mithra again.
Now that you said that July is about to be my most favorite month to date, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course it is. But we basically just left it off on episode 2. I think the amount of games we did is overwhelming, plus the consistency of us wanting to upload a video every day burnt us out.
Well, the same case has to be said for Metal Gear Rising. We left off before the Mistral fight. I think the thumbnail is in my computer somewhere, so I can still use it for the video.
That's some actual nice thinking there, Joe. You went one step ahead.
I don't know whether to thank you for being genuine or not say anything if you're being sarcastic about it.
Just take the compliment for once in your frickin' life. Who knows, I might have a change of heart and be nice to you, or just be an absolute prick now that I'm in a higher position of power. Wait a second, don't say anything. Is that Undertale? Sans Undertale?
I think you're a bit too excited for September. You screamed so loud that the Secret Service called just to make sure you didn't blow a gasket.
Sorry, I'm just so excited for one thing in that game is Mama Toriel. What I wouldn't give to just lay on her lap and just tell me everything's gonna be okay in a soothing voice.
Okay, let's just get to October already, bringing us to Zombie City called Raccoon City. Now, this is my second most hyped game to play.
And they say I act like a child. Barack's practically frothing at the mouth to play Resident Evil 2 right now. Although, why aren't November and December up there yet? Are we just gonna skip over those two instead?
Well, if you open your eyes and look, we don't have enough space, so that's why I made another one for those two.
I see. Well, you thought one step ahead yet again, Joe. Although November's game looks a bit strange. Is it a horror game or dating sim?
There's blood on the title words. Does it look like some cute dating sim to you?
Now that I see it, no. But for December, Joe cooked in the kitchen once again. A 5-course meal this time. I heard Mouthwashing is an amazing horror game with absolute dark twist and characters that are more despicable than me.
I might believe you for once on that one, but I'll say we're all excited to share this with our audience and that the President Trio are back and better than ever.
Well then, gentlemen, what do you think? Are we excited to bring these videos to the people who wants to see us again?
Sure, Mr. Australia, I'd love to see what the comments will say to that, but now I think we got our work cut out for us.
And with those words, I'm going to play some Marvel Rivals for the day, but I can guarantee we'll hopefully have a full series of Misside by the end of January. We're the President's Trio. Good night and good luck.